Hey guys, it's Youmuus here, and today we're doing a video on the top 15, or basically ranking all the keystones from best to worst. I've personally played with all of them on the PB, and I think since preseason's around the corner, you guys are about to get these on live, and then everyone gets to play with them. I thought I'd make a list video going over the best to the worst keystones, and basically what needs a little bit of buffs. Because since they took these out of the PB now from testing, they're probably not going to change these from live now. So what you see here is what you're probably going to get. They might get nerfed later on, but for now, here's the tier list. Let's start off at number 15. I'll go over them a little bit in case you don't know, but only a little bit though, so those of you who do know don't get bored. GLACIAL and Undying is basically exactly the same as the last one, but except it gives you some permanent health now every time you proc it. So after 4 seconds in combat, altering enemy champion will, do a percentage of your max health and heal you a bit too. And if you're melee, give you 5 permanent health, and if you're range, give you 2 permanent health. The reason this is bad is because all the keystones got buffed, and this one is relatively the same, and the 5 extra health sounds like a lot. It sounds really cool on paper. Wow, I get permanent health every time I use this. That's so much value. But in reality, late game, you only get 100 to 150 permanent health, which is worth about 400 gold. Not really worth it, in my opinion. It's good for lane sustain if you want to trade a bit, but other than that, not very good. So that's going to be the worst keystone so far, number 15. Number 14 is Fleet of Foot, just like the last case, alright? This one is almost exactly the same as Warlord's Bloodlust, if not worse. And the only reason it's better than Grass is just because it has more uses. Grass, very few people already use it, and it was already a bad keystone back then too. And now Fleet of Foot is just like a worse Warlords, which I don't know why they did, because they lowered the sustain on it, they lowered the ratios, they lowered the base healing. It's just terrible, I feel now. Like, I wouldn't see any AD carries running this unless like they're literally forced to, because there's other ways to get sustained in lane, and this is definitely not one of them anymore. So, oh yeah, for the people that don't know what this does, every time you auto attack after 100 stacks, which is kind of like Static Shiv, you heal a very tiny little bit and get move speed. Number 13 here is Aftershock. Aftershock, after you stun an enemy, after 2.5 seconds, you have a little AoE around you, and it gives you armor and MR when you are in that state. And the reason this is at number 13 and it is so bad is because there's not too many users that want this. The champions that want the extra armor MR that can scale off it, like Galio, Malphite, and Rammus, don't care about the anti-burst potential of this because they're tanks. 2.5 seconds of resistances is nothing to them. They're not going to get bursted. Some champions that I do see making use of this is someone like Riven, which goes a lot of HP and could use the resistances from this to help her really tank up. But then again, for Riven, there's other keystones that are better for her anyway. So I did see this. The problem with this one is it's kind of good. The effects of it honestly are pretty good. It gives you a good amount of gold. It's just that not too many champions have it. Also, it's after 2.5 seconds, so they could always just avoid you, and you just don't get the damage at all. Number 12, this one is massively overhyped, and it's Summoner Spell Specialist, or Summoner Specialist right here. It's gain 25% cooldown reduction and lets you swap summoner spells mid-game. At the start of the game, you start with one. After 6 minutes, you get another one, and after times you use a summoner spell, you get one too. So you can swap your summoner spells actually a lot. But this is terrible, I feel. It's only really for cheesing, and if people see that you run this, and they can see all your keystones, alright? They're just going to play safe. They see you come in the lane with Ignite Exhaust. Okay, they just play safe. Wait until you have to switch to TP, or they TP somewhere else and you lose your advantage. I don't think this one is good at all. I feel this is massively overhyped. Gives you no combat stats other than if you run summoners, and that's only if you run double summoner. Say if you're taking this mid and you go Ignite Flash, and the enemy has Ignite Flash, but they have the Electrocute, which is the new Thunderlords, they're just stronger than you. You need to take Ignite Exhaust. If Ignite Exhaust, you lose the mobility. So I don't feel this one's very good. The only good benefit of this is 25% summoner spell cooldown reduction, which could be very good on TP, Ignite, Exhaust, these low cooldown spells, Ghost too, because you can just spam them really crazy. Number 11 is Glacial Alignment, another one in the inspiration tree here. So as you can see here, the resolve tree is very weak just because the keystones are bad and its stat bonuses are bad too. And inspiration has the best stat bonus out of all of them, being 50% more than whatever the secondary tree gives. But the keystones are just so weak in my opinion. So Glacial Alignment here, this is what we call a win more keystone. The champions that take this will already be winning. Quinn top, Teemo top, the champions that use this are already going to be winning top lane. Now Teemo does not need this to win top lane. This is only going to help him abuse top lane even more. And I feel like there's other keystones that are better for champions like that can help them cover their weaknesses instead of over accentuate their strengths, because they're already winning, you know. So yeah, some melee, I can't even think of too many melee champions that run this. Maybe a Tom Kench or Shyvana could run this, but even though it's just not very good. The slow for the melees is only a little bit better than on the range champions. Doesn't incentivize people taking it too much. The slow is ramping. It actually starts at 25% and it slows up to 40%, which is worse than the other way around because you would rather catch them earlier than later. And the active item slowing thing is just basically trivial. Most champions that use this probably won't even get an active item. Only Teemo really. So this is going to be at number 11, Glacial Alignment. It's basically after every auto attack, you slow them for 2 seconds. Frozen Mallet, basically. Number 10 is Kelptomancy. This one is after using ability, your next attack grants 5 bonus gold and a chance of a consumable. It's very good for people that can abuse it. Someone like GP, this would easily be a number 1, number 2, just because he can proc it every 5 seconds in lane. But for someone that actually uses this, like a support, like a Lulu or so, alright, you maybe will proc this once every 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and if you're skill shot based, it's also, you gotta hit your skill shot too. It's RNG, like you might just get a bunch of mana and heal potions, which are not very worth, or you can get the really crazy good potions. I think it's definitely not a bad keystone, but it just basically depends on your user, if your user can use it a lot, and I don't think too many people can use this one a lot, so that's why Kelptomancy is at number 10. Number 9, Press the Attack. This used to be one of the best ones. Now it's attacking enemy champion with 3 auto attacks, will make them pop for a little bit of damage and expose them to take 12% more damage from all sources. It's pretty good on some top lane champs, but this is more of a damage orientated keystone, gives you attack speed and stuff. But people that want to run damage don't need their team to deal damage. So it's kind of awkward in that way. It's trying to be a little bit too many things at once. It's good on champions with executes though. After playing some Rek'Sai top, Rek'Sai is super good with this because he can burst you down, bite you for 12% more true damage, then execute you again for all that missing health and 12% more. So champions that executes I see as being very, very good on. Renekton's pretty good on this too. You can you E in, W, immediately proc it, and then your Q, which you actually put points into, does 12% extra damage, which is very important. As a real damage amp, no cooldown, very, very good, but it's only if you really could make use of it. There's a lot of better choices for champions that want to do pure damage though. Number 9, we have Phase Rush. Now this one didn't get nerfed, didn't get buffed, it got kind of changed. It's a lot easier to proc now, so champions that don't do as much damage can proc it easier. Champions that do a lot of damage don't really like this because before they can proc it with one ability. Rengar ult, that crit, can proc it with one ability. Now it takes, you know, 3 abilities to proc on Rengar, which is not the best. I'll put it at number 8. I'm not sure. Champions that used it before might still use it again. It's still very good against heavily slowing teams. Hard CC teams, maybe not too much. Has no real raw stats, but versus a lane with, you know, lots of skill shots, maybe a Xerath if you're a Talon. If you can jump in, burst him a bit, and use that move speed to kite out his E and stuff, it could be pretty good. But still, Phase Rush, solid number 8. Number 7, Lethal Tempo. Now, this one's probably one of the most overhyped one, and that's because when it came out, I overhyped it too. Because when it came out, it actually was bugged to where you got over your attack speed cap without even proccing it. So people would just passively have 3.0 attack speed, which is amazing, because then you just stack attack speed. But now it's okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. It still gives you a small window where you have insanely high DPS as the AD carry to go over the attack speed cap. But keep in mind, that is only if you really want to go over the attack speed caps. Not a lot of AD carries go over the attack speed cap. And even if you don't, it still gives you 80% attack speed, which lets you heavily build into AD, because if you have a lot of AD, your attacks are slow in between, so you auto them once, you might have to reposition a bit. It'll be 1.5 seconds, then once you auto them again, you can use all your AD and synergize with the attack speed, which is pretty good, but still not as good as everyone envisioned. Definitely a nice keystone would be ran a lot, but at number 7 for me. Number 6, Guardian. This one is a very underrated one. A lot of people don't really, you know, didn't really put too much thought into this one. I think this one is really, really good, and that's mainly because its scaling is very good. It has AP and health scaling. That makes it super good on bot lane because most of the tanks will build a little bit of AP by accident, you know, for Ardent Sensor or some other weird items. And this just basically puts that to use. The 10% bonus health is very, very solid. And you're always going to get value out of this with a melee support, because all you got to do is be near your ally. It shields both of you and speeds you both up. So if you want to chase, do all that. If, say, someone ignited your ADC, right? And you just jump to them, you both get a speed boost now to chase. Or they exhausted you, or they have a little bit of damage over time on you. You can use that as a speed up, actually. I think it's very, very good. Its cooldown is a little bit high at 45 seconds. You can't use it in too much. You only use it once every fight. But it has high value, good ratios. I kind of like it. Dark Harvest, next one up. This is a very niche one, and it's a very hard to explain one. That's why people think it's bad. They just completely ignore it. They see a bunch of text and they're like, I don't know what that does. Basically, if you're in lane, every cannon minion drops 5 souls, and those 5 souls will... Not those 5 souls. Those 5 souls stack up to your damage, but once the soul drops for the next 20 seconds, if you auto-attack an enemy, you deal a lot of extra damage. And the reason this is so good is because if you abuse it in lane, 2 cannon minions come at the same time. You kill theirs first, you get it. You auto-attack them, they take a chunk of damage. They kill your cannon, you get your cannon soul too. And then you chunk them again. It's very good for that. Junglers could use it too. Every jungle monsters drop souls as well. And mid to late game, it's basically a super dust blade, because after 100 stacks, every time a cannon drops one, you keep it for 5 minutes after 100 stacks. Now 100 stacks is not hard to get. You get about 60 to 70 stacks in lane, and then all you need is 3 kills from there, and you proc it. It's very snowbally. Every time a champion dies, they drop a soul too, and lets you reset off people. I think this one's very, very good. It's still hard to understand, but people that make use of this one will do very, very well. The most snowbally keystone yet. If you're smurfing, take this one, alright? Number 4, another very misunderstood one I feel. This one is the one I might get bit here for or flamed here for, because not many people think this one's too good. But I think Predator is actually really good. People just don't understand how to use that effectively. People don't combo with Ingenious Hunter and all that. But if you combo with all the right stuff, you get really low cooldown on the Predator. You can use this for supports too. Instead of going mobility boost, you can go Predator, and you're going to go Sightstone, Ruby Sightstone, and Ingenious Hunter, and get a 50% cooldown on this. So every minute you can run mid with that 15-second move speed. The long duration, 15 seconds of 40% move speed is insane. You run mid, you don't even need mobile boots. You can have ninja tabbies, you can just dive the enemy laner. Very, very strong. Junglers, of course, be using this as well. Hecarim, all these, you know, high burst, high impact junglers are going to be using this. I think this one's very, very good, and this might be the secret OP of the list. Number 3, Arcane Comet. Very solid. Every single AP mage is going to run this. Control mages might run it too. Yeah, control mages probably run it, because most mages have a little bit of CC in their kit, either a slow, a snare, a stun, and that basically ensures that this lands. Also, this is AoE, so those supports don't want to be like hugging their AD carry with Guardian. This is going to hit them both. It has a really low cooldown, because every time you hit another spell, you reset its cooldown by a little bit. So spammy champions like Cassiopeia that spam E, she can get this back in like 5 seconds when it has a 20-second cooldown and use this every 5 seconds. Amazing stuff. One of the best keystones. I see a lot of mid laners running this. Maybe some AD carries as well. Number 2, this one might surprise you guys a bit. Summon AERY. Not a lot of people, when they think about good keystones, they think about utility. Utility is very, very good. And this one is so good, I feel, because I saw one fight bot lane where a Lulu shielded her AD carry, they popped it, and then the AERY went back to her. She Q'd an enemy, AERY popped on them, and then it came back, and then she sped up her AD carry and procced it 3 times in a fight. And you know how crazy that is? That is upwards of 40 shielding at level 1. What is it? 20 or 30 damage. No, that's 60 shielding and 20 damage at level 1 if you proc it. That's 80 net health if you know how to proc it effectively and crazy stuff. That's just base damage level 1. By the time you level 3 with 3 abilities, it'll probably go up to 100 or 110 or so. Very, very good. It's just because you can proc it so fast by picking up AERY. In a chase, you're probably going to pick it up really, really quick. If you're running away, maybe not too much, but I think it's super good. Good base damage numbers, versatile, and it scales good because shield and heal power scales with base numbers. So your base numbers and scalings being really good is very, very important. And number 1, can you guys guess it? It is going to be Electrocute. This is the new Thunderlords right now. After 3 unique attacks or abilities within 2 seconds, which is actually a pretty short window, 2 seconds, right? But most champions that use Thunderlords before can proc it like instantly, alright? It deals 50 to 220 damage, and this is insane. Thunderlords is already ran on 40 to 50% of champions, and this is just a straight buff to Thunderlords. Yes, they nerfed the cooldown of it, making it 50 seconds now, but they gave it 40 extra damage at level 1. 40 extra damage. That's absurd, alright? Like, this was probably going to proc for 65 damage level 1 because your AD and all that and your other masteries. And that's just crazy because most of the time, people that proc this, they win the fight. They don't fight for another 50 seconds anyway. Most of the times, you're going to proc Electrocute now in the new season. The enemy laner is getting completely chunked out of lane or they're dead. This is that strong. It has great scaling. It procs really fast, high base damage. Its high cooldown isn't really even a con in my opinion because 25 seconds late game, you get a kill every 25 seconds. Your abilities have cooldowns anyway too. I think this one is really, really good. Easily a number 1 pick. I'm going to be using this on all my assassins. I'm going to be using this on Rengar as well. Just too much raw damage on this one. They got to lower the numbers a bit on this one, I feel. But yeah, let's look at all the keystones. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I spent a lot of time making all the mock-up and all that. Oh, also, I almost forgot. Check out the shirts, guys, alright? Where is it? Here we go. The shirts. Oh, you guys were... You guys, I've been telling you guys to get the shirts, right? And then, of course, you guys hit me up after the event ends to get the shirt. So I decided to extend it for 2 days, alright? 2 more days, you guys can go in the link in the description below and get the shirts, alright? Don't procrastinate, guys, now that you guys want to get it, alright? Because after this, I can't send to you guys. Our professional companies may printing them, sending them to you. I don't have the stock, so you guys can't hit me up for the shirts. You can't donate me on PayPal to get the shirts or anything like that. You guys have to go to the company. Make sure to get those now, guys. But yeah, let's go back to the ending here now. This is the outro. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's Youmuus signing out. Here's 2 other videos to check out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I keep saying that, but I really do hope you guys enjoy this one. This is a new style and all that. I'm not sure if you guys are going to like it compared to my usual stuff. But yeah, Youmuus signing out. I'll see you guys later.